Hey everyone, in case it wasn't very obvious, this is obviously my very first vlog. I wanted to do a little video to actually do an update regarding my eyes. I recently had strabismus surgery for lazy eye. Both my eyes went outwards, especially when I was tired. Outwards my eyes were at 40, inwards my eye were at 10. I had the surgery about 3 weeks ago now, and I will throughout the video insert a few little pictures from day one and so forth of what my eyeballs look like. Not for the faint of heart, because obviously you will see the redness and the stitches and possibly even some of the minor sort of infection that flared up.
This picture is taken right after the surgery. You can see a little bit of swelling in my left eye on the bottom bit. This one is the day after, and I just woke up. You can see a lot of redness in the outer corners. And day 3 there's a little bit more swelling and the redness got a bit brighter as well. Day 4 there was a lot more swelling again. It was pressing against the middle of my eye, and you can see a bit of the stitch there. And day 5 you can actually see the inflammation and a little bit of the infection flaring up as well, and even more swelling.
Hoping that I can educate some of the people that are wanting to get this surgery done, or people who have had it and are worried what is going to be happening.
This is my right eye on day 6. You can see an increase in the inflammation in the eye, still very yellow and red. And then this is the left eye on the same day. It's a lot more yellow and you can really see the stitch in the eye right now. Then day 7 you can still see the stitch being very swollen, but the redness has gone down ever so slightly as well. And then the right eye is still very red. There's a lot of inflammation going on right there and still a bit of the infection. And the day after that my eyelid started swelling a lot. So this is the result of that after a week. And then one of the final pictures I took was actually on one of the worst days. It doesn't look so bad on the picture, but both my upper and lower lid were swollen significantly, to a point where I woke up with my eyes shut, and this was day 9.
In my case, the very first day, when I very first woke up from the surgery, my eyes really hurt. They put sort of eye drops in. They did burn, but after about half a minute, the pain in my eyeballs went away. I did have a headache all day long, and you could very obviously feel there was something in your eyes. I wouldn't necessarily say it feels like sand, like some people told me, but it doesn't feel like stitches either, so it's hard to explain. It does feel very gritty and it feels a bit tight. Yeah, and after you have eaten and drank, they just observe you for a few hours and then you're allowed to go home. Because I obviously take a lot of painkillers for my back, I don't get a whole lot of pain in general, so my eyes weren't too bad overall. I did notice that especially in the morning and the evening, my eyes were the worst. They would feel very throbbing and it felt very tight again. It kind of felt like a lot of pressure on my eyeballs, a bit like it was being squeezed, if that makes at all any sense. I personally didn't find it to be as bad as I expected. I expected the pain to be a lot worse. In my case, after about 3 days, my eyes did get a little bit yellow and pussy, so a minor infection did well up. But because I had 2 different drops, one for inflammation and one for anti-infection basically, it did take care of it. I think the yellowness lasted for about 2 to 3 days, and after that it settled down quite nicely. I do actually still have a bit of the slime residue coming up in my eye, because obviously there is still a stitch in both eyes. The stitch that is still left is actually the one on the muscle itself, so it's the one in the eye. The stitches that were on the outer surface of my eye have dissolved and they are gone. So right now it's just the inner stitches. I can try and show you. So if you're squeamish or not at all interested, then look away. that's that eye. And you can see a bit of the blue from the actual stitch. Other than that, it's just really a bit of redness and soreness. Nothing too bad. I can't say my eyes hurt anymore. The sort of grittiness does last for a full 2 weeks. Most people said it lasted for 3 days, but it did last for a full 2 weeks for me, definitely. I can sometimes, my eyes do still feel a bit gritty now after 3 weeks, but that's mainly because my eyes get very dry. After about a week, you are allowed to use any kind of drops from the pharmacy, like artificial tears or anything like that, to kind of keep your eye moisturized and less gritty. I personally was told not to wear makeup on my eyes for at least 2 weeks because it will get very irritating. So I didn't wear anything around or on my eyes at all for the first 2 weeks. After that, I just started off with mascara on my lashes, and after that the rest followed. It just kind of depends on how you're feeling as well, how your eyes are taking it. You have to kind of go by what your body is telling you. You always have to do. Other than that, the surgery really was very good, very successful. When I had my checkup, I was told that actually the first surgery was such a success, basically, that I probably won't be needing any other surgery, because I went from outwards 40, as I said, to 7, and inwards 10 to 1. So that's pretty good. When I'm very tired, my eyes sometimes will go out a little bit, but I can barely move outwards at all because it's been corrected so nicely that it won't actually do any of that anymore. Yeah, overall I'm very, very pleased. I couldn't recommend it enough. I mean, I had a headache every single day, all day long, and it really does debilitate what you're doing, and it's just very hard in general. So if you're suffering or have suffered like I did, just try and discuss it with your doctor, because chances are you could be relieved from the headache and everything else as well. And the surgery tends to last for 45 to 50 minutes, then about 15 minutes in the recovery room to wake you up. After that, you get returned to the room and they will observe you for 4 hours. Make sure you eat and drink, obviously, and then you can go home. And then it's on you. Then it's painkiller palooza and making sure you rest enough. Don't immediately go back to sitting behind a computer. I would not advise that for the first week. You can't get any normal water in your eyes or anything, just boiled water that has been cooled down. Make sure to do your drops as advised, and well, you can watch TV, but don't push it. I mean, if you feel like your eyes are getting tired, take a nap, close your eyes, just relax. That's the best thing you can do the first few days, and it will pass. If you do have any questions, do leave them in the comments below. I will make sure to answer however many I can answer. I am not a doctor or any kind of healthcare professional. I'm only going by what I know and what I've been through. I hope this was in any way informative, and I'm sorry if this video wasn't fantastic. It is my first time vlogging something or having a camera on my face, talking to it in the first place. So please let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. Don't forget to like or subscribe if you thought this was helpful, or if you're hoping for any more medical related vlogs that I can take you along with. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys.